What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Donzel's Motivational Mondays. So I had to finish off this series on Peter, and I believe that this message here is one of the most important parts of the entire story. If you've been following, you know I've done 2 videos discussing Peter's time with Jesus. If you haven't, I highly recommend you go back and check them out. Last time we left off, I spoke about spiritual lethargy. This is where Jesus told Peter to stay here and pray with me, so that when temptation hits, you won't fall under it. As we all know, Peter fell asleep, and the next morning he fell under temptation and he denied Jesus 3 times. Let's pick up the story from here. Jesus has now been crucified and has risen again. At this point, Peter has lost his vision on ministry. He's lost his vision of his calling. He's pretty much told himself that God can't use me. So instead of continuing his walk in faith, he goes back to be a fisherman. I feel like we get like that at times too. We think, man, I've messed up all these times. I'm sure if given an opportunity, I'll mess it all up again. So at this point, I won't even try. So the next morning, Jesus was out at the shore while Peter was fishing with the other disciples. Jesus told Peter, "Cast your nets out into the sea and you will find fish." Peter listened. He cast his net out, and sure behold, they were able to find a great number of fish. At that moment, Peter knew that was Jesus, and he jumped in the water and he swam to the shore. Once Peter and the other disciples arrived, they see that Jesus had prepared food for them. The scripture says that when they got to the land, they saw a charcoal fire with fish and bread laid on it. Jesus then called Peter over and said, "If you let me, I can still make you a successful fisher of men." The word charcoal is very significant in this verse. Charcoal is only used twice in the New Testament. The first time it is used is in John 18, when Peter and the servants and the officers were standing in front of a charcoal fire to keep warm. This is where Peter denied Jesus. The next time it is used is in the verse that I just read, where Jesus fed the disciples. Jesus forgave Peter over a charcoal fire. That's why Jesus is the greatest teacher ever. He will give you grace in the same setting where you did not deserve it. Jesus made sure that this took place in a similar setting so that Peter could be reminded of his failure, and then to show Peter that even though you deny me, I will still give you grace. Then Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" Peter replied, "You know I love you." He said, "Do you love me sacrificially?" "Lord, you know I love you." "Do you love me supremely, greater than all things?" "Yes, Lord, I love you." Jesus replied, "Feed my sheep." After all of that, after Peter denied Jesus 3 times, saying, "I do not know this man, I do not serve this God, I don't know him," Jesus still asked Peter to lead his disciples. I say all of that to say, even if your life is broken, if you've messed up over and over and over again, Jesus still can, and he still wants to use you. I love y'all. Peace.